Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Hannah Grace.
The views expressed in this video are for entertainment purposes only. All commentary is alleged.
Thank you for joining me. Please support the channel, like, share, and subscribe. Shout out to the content creator, Shop Reality TV. She recently told us that Holt's house is completed, on the market, and will be on the new season of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Also, let's talk about Arionne Curry's inventory that she recently showed us of Iris Boutique. Let's talk about it. Yes, it does look like the house that Martel Holt and his business partner, I guess Fred or whoever his business partner is, the house is completed. It is beautiful. It really is a beautiful house. Just take a look at the floor plan. The outside is beautiful. Everything looks really, really good. Now, here's the thing that I have a problem with. Not a problem, but a question about. Martel Holt says this is his house, but we know because the Gossip Girls put this out months ago that Martel, the land that he built this home on, is not only owned by Martel, it is also owned by a couple from California, which is fine. But didn't Arionne Curry say that was their house? Didn't she do a TikTok video showing us a floor plan, talking about they're going to have these high ceilings, or the rooms were spacious. They had heels in her closets. We saw them outside. Her and Miles Morales, and Martel Holt, they were out there cleaning off the property, the lots. That was back in December, around Christmas time. And all of this. But we haven't heard anything else from Arionne Curry recently about this house. I think that once she found out, in my opinion, all of this is a legend, in my opinion, that this house was in someone else's name. Maybe she realized that, hey, this may not be my house. This may not be my investment. And remember, she won that $40,000 around. She won $40,000 around. It was in October because they were talking about it, and they even had some gingerbread houses, and we're talking about the M&M kids putting her mouth on Melody's children, which was despicable. This woman has no business talking about Melody's children. Martel Holt is very, very despicable for allowing her to do it, knowing how foul her mouth is around her own kids. So imagine if she does this around her own kids, the way she talks, all of this foul language around her own kids. Why would someone else want their kids around her? But anyway, she was out here talking about it was their house. They were going shopping and all of this. In my opinion, Martel had a game plan all along to basically take that $40,000, $40,000, or as much as he could get, and put it on that house, and let Arionne Curry think that it was her investment as well. Trust me, I've known people to do this. People like Martel, they will tell you whatever it is they need to tell you to get what they want, and they don't care. They just want to get what they want. They'll tell you. They don't even mean it. But in there, they just going to see if you're going to go for it. They'll tell you anything. And if you go for it, then they got you. They have no, in my opinion, I'm saying people like this. I've seen it happen where people will tell the person, listen, we're going to buy this house together. Only thing I need is your credit, and I need you to help me with the down payment, and I'm going to put your name on the deed. Come to find out, they didn't put the person's name on the deed. They had never had any intention to do it. And then shortly thereafter, they try to force the person out of the house because they had gotten what they want. And then they was like, okay, well, I'm done with you. You need to get out of my house. It's my house. And then they take all of the profit. They'll take every last dime of the profit, as far as escrow, not escrow, but equity in the home, everything. They have no conscience. But I'm not saying this is what happened to her, but I'm saying these are games that people will play with you. But I don't think Arionne Curry knew that Martel did not own that land alone. Just my opinion. Again, it's Martel and two other people, which is a couple, and they actually own that land. Now, as far as the house, I can't tell you. But what I can tell you is that Martel Holt has some problems with federal taxes. And you can see that it says that because he owes this money, in essence, that it says we have made a demand for payment of this liability, but it remains unpaid. Therefore, there is a lien in favor of the United States on all property, and rights to property belonging to this taxpayer. So if you don't pay them, the federal government, their money, they're going to remain, this lien is going to be on all property. So if this is Martel's house, I don't know. Would this apply? But it remains unpaid. We have made demands, but it has remained unpaid. Therefore, there is a lien in favor of the United States on all property and rights to property belonging to this taxpayer for the amount of these taxes. Additional penalties, interest, and costs, and any additional penalties, interest, and costs that may accrue is basically, until you pay the federal government, this is not your property. And I'm wondering, do the couple that owns this property with Martel know? Maybe they'll get together and pay it off, because, sometimes people do get these liens on their property, but they just go ahead on and pay it off. But, this is not a drop in the bucket, because it's several thousands of dollars that he owed. Anyway, but that's just food for thought there. So is this Martel's house? Is it his house? Is it his house and two other people? It looks like they're planning to sell the house. The house is on the market. But my question is, if Martel has a lien on all property, can he sell this house if this house is in his name and two other people's name before he pays the liens off? You all saw recently that Martel made a comment on Sheree Whitfield's picture saying Mrs. Holt. Don't fall for that. Martel might need some money to pay off these debts. I don't know if he needs money to pay off a lien, allegedly. Don't fall for the old okie doke, because in my opinion, Martel might be trying to get you back into his good graces. He ain't finna marry you and nobody else right now. But this is how people like Martel do. They try to trick you with the big M word. They want you to think that they're going to marry you. He's not going to marry you. He's not going to marry Coleslaw, baby mama, Arionne Curry. He's not going to marry her. He done put her off to the side right now. And she should know by now games that Martel Holt plays with her and other women. He stole Melody $17,000, in my opinion. And in my opinion, that $40,000 that Arionne Curry won, she lost it too to Martel Holt. He got some of that $40,000, and then when he got it, he went ahead on about his business. He didn't need her no more. She don't have no money now. So now he gonna go and try to get some money from somebody else. But you really would think that Arionne Curry would have caught on by now. But I truly agree with the statement. I see why you can be a side chick for 7 years, because you're dumb. You were his girlfriend, he said. He said you were a peasant. He said you were his girlfriend. You're his baby mama. But all of a sudden, after 7-8 years, or however long y'all were off and on dating during the marriage. Now, during the marriage, he said you were his girlfriend. But that's what he told Tasha K. Then he turns around and say, right now, we just getting to know each other. So that means, in essence, that all those years you wasted, and you wasted 7 years as a girlfriend to be nothing, actually. What I don't know. I'm not understanding what this man is saying. He don't even know what he's saying. So how can he explained it to us. There is no way you can tell us that you were his girlfriend for 7 years. Also, in that 7 years, you were his peasant. Now, all of a sudden, you're not his girlfriend, but you're his baby mama. And what the heck? Anyway, I'm done with that because it's confusing, and so is Martel. So are you, Arionne Curry. But that brings me to your inventory here. Now, we're looking at your inventory. These are the same shelves that you had 7 or 8 years ago that you were, I don't know if you had any inventory on the shelves back then, or you just had shoes. I don't know. But this, you don't have much in your Aries boutique inventory, it looks like. But are you sure that your boutique is doing as good as you say it is? Just let us know for sure. You ain't got to tell us, but if this is all the inventory you have, then it looks like you don't have much of an inventory at all. But since you are rebranding, or since you said the gag is that, what is the gag now? The gag is not on you. The gag is, I'm about to rebrand my whole life. This is what you said. You said the gag is, I'm about to rebrand my whole life. How long has it been that you were about to do something with your life? About is not, it shouldn't be doing nothing about right now. You should be done, or go get your 9 to 5, because you rebranding your whole life. Your whole life, lady. Don't you think it's a little bit too late to be talking about I'm about? You should have done this years ago. While you were so pressed to sit up and put your nose in someone else's marriage, all those years you wasted, you could have been branding back then. And then there wouldn't be no rebranding. You could have had it done. But no, you were so interested and so hell-bent on putting your nose and everything else in somebody else's marriage. You were so focused on somebody else's life that you forgot about rebranding yours. But no, you didn't think. You thought that you had a money bag in Martel. But what you didn't understand is Martel didn't even have a money bag for himself. So I guess it's a little bit too late for you to find out, but you found out. You found out that all that work that you did was for nothing. Nothing. And you know what? That serves you right. That you're in the same position, looks like, or worse, in a worse condition than you were 7 years ago. Why? Because you stuck your nose where it didn't belong, and again, everything else. And you sat there and you allowed Martel to feed you all these lies, and you conspiring with Martel Holt to put out revenge P videos. While you doing all of this foolishness, you should have been rebranding then. No, you should have been branding then, and then you wouldn't be talking about rebranding now. See, this is a cautionary tale for people. Get your own. Don't try to destroy what somebody else have for you and think you're finna build on it. You're not going to build on what somebody else built. You can forget that. So yes, you got to rebuild or rebrand or whatever you got to do, but you could have been doing that years ago. Why, again, you're trying to destroy, tear it down. That is where you made your big mistake, conspiring with Martel to tear something up instead of you getting your butt somewhere and doing what was right. But oh no, I'm that B. Oh, and when you got a nigga chasing you for 5 years, 5 years. Well, what did that get you? 5 years behind the 8 ball. 5 years of digging yourself deep into a hole, and there you can't hardly get out of it. That's your problem. Deal with it. And don't tell us that you're about to rebrand anything. Maybe you're telling yourself. Maybe you're trying to motivate yourself. But rebranding? No, you ain't never brand. So how you going to rebrand? You've never done that. All of your stuff is fictitious, fantasy, lies that Martel has told you. He can't even, how he gonna be a business person? And you're gonna learn from him? He has no foundation. That's why all of his businesses, in my opinion, flopped. And then you're gonna listen to him? No, it doesn't go like that. So thank you for showing us your inventory. But if that's all you got, then you really need to go get your 9 to 5 and hang it up. Thank you for showing us, though, because now we know that you ain't doing nothing but over there waiting on Mr. Holt. And if that's what you're waiting on, you're going to be waiting from here until Miles Morales graduate from college or become an old man. But keep waiting. That's on you. That's all I have for this video. Drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about Arionne Curry's inventory. Do you think she really is about to rebrand? Also, let me know what you think about Martel Holt. Does he own this property? And if there is a lien, will he be able to actually sell the house? Drop down in the comments and let me know what you think. Also, stay to the end of the video. I have a garden tip. I want you to see how your garden might look if you add lights. Thank you so much again for joining me. I'm Hannah Grace. Remember, I am Aries, and have a beautiful day. Please support the channel, like, share, and subscribe. You might consider adding solar lights to your garden. They make the garden look really pretty at night. Take a look. And thank you again for joining me for another Garden Tips by Hannah Grace, and have a beautiful day.